Hey there, guys. I'm back, and I really want to do the March PMP premium unboxing for you, but I can't. I can't because it doesn't exist, because he never sent it. Because here we are. It's mid-April, and he's already trying to take people's money for May, and we have no box for March. And here we are. And I want you guys to understand this. I'm not happy. I'm not happy to make this video. First of all, I hope this green screen experiment behind me thing works. If it doesn't, you can laugh at that. But I'm really upset to have to make this video. But you know, the thing is, there's going to be some rambling involved. I really wanted this to work out. I really did. And there are still, to this day, there are people that contact me. I have nothing to do with Poor Man's Preparing. I have nothing to do with Mr. Jason Gallagher. I'm a dude who paid out of pocket for some boxes once upon a time, found the quality and value to be good, and put my foot in my mouth when I said, I believe this is a good product. You can feel good about subscribing to this product. Subscribe to this product. And then everything changed. Now, if you are not familiar with how we got to where we are here, please click up here and you will see the last video where we had to address a problem with PMP. And it was a thing that was developing across, this kind of little community. And once again, see, here's the problem. It's a humbling thing to know that people spend or don't spend their money. Not a lot of people, but a little bit of people. But even one person willing to throw down bucks because I say, I think it's, I give my opinion and I think it's good. That's a big deal for me. And I had given a favorable review, a few, and there's actually a playlist on the channel about it. And then all of a sudden the guy just folded up. I don't know what happened. He has his story, and I'm not saying it's true, it's not true, because I'm not there to judge. I don't know what happened. He supposedly got his shit back together and started putting boxes out, but there are still people who message me because they say they get angry. They come after, well, not like they come after me. We're not talking torches and pitchforks, but they say, I followed your advice and spent money on this, and it's been like 2 months and I've gotten nothing. And I hear stories about people having to do PayPal chargebacks and all sorts of stuff. And it's not one or two people. I'm not, again, nobody's giving me permission to use their names. It's not one or two people that tell me this. It's people have contacted me about stuff. When I have unboxed the last box in February, I have gotten, I think, some comments and some messages saying, wow, I didn't get what you got in the box. That's not cool. That's not putting out a consistent product, and apparently it was like that in the past few months too. Just throwing whatever's around in the box. I don't know. Here's why we're at, I need to do this, first of all, because I am that upset. So I'm going to take my little Cerakote Nebula double shot glass. I'm going to take some of this fine Irish whiskey. And you don't have to join me in this one. But I need to do this to get through this here. So. At 4:07 a.m. I said that I would be back to talk about where we're at with this whole thing and the PMP. And we're not in a good place, I feel. My opinion, this is all my opinion. I don't even know where to start. I'm so disappointed. I'm disappointed. This is not me wanting to trash a guy. I do not want to. This is me wanting so bad to have an outstanding box in my hand and be like, yeah, guys, everybody falls down and hopefully they get up and I'm sorry. This is really upsetting to me. And I promise it will get back on the rails soon. But you know what this is like? Here's an analogy, and I'm sorry, it's a military analogy. Follow me. So when I was an instructor, my last assignment, when you're in like an upper level school, a special school, a fancier school, there are cases where it's like you failed, get the fuck out, leave, you're no good. But when you are in a base level school where it is to get your job, right, like your military job, it is definitely like the deck is stacked in your favor to pass that school. They want you to pass that school. That's what the military is paying for. So like when I was teaching, like crew members to like do air battle control and all that stuff, it wasn't like you fail a mission and you're out. Okay, it was a process. It was, I get it. This will go somewhere, I promise. But, so it was like, so you got an instruction, you got a classroom instruction for like what that mission set was, and then you had to do live missions, like with real aircraft and stuff, and talk to them on the radio and everything. And we had simulated missions too, but so then you got a mission brief from your instructor. Here's tasks, conditions, standards. Military thing with like, the whole mission brief. Here's what we're going to see today. Here's what's expected of you. Here's how it's going to play out. Here's how we're going to execute. Here's what could go wrong. Here's how we're going to mitigate, blah, blah, blah. The student goes and does the mission. If the student fails the mission, they then, after every mission, you do a debrief. But, if the student fails the mission, you do a debrief. You come up with what went wrong, okay? The instructor that had them on that mission. You then take them, hand them over to another instructor where they get a rebrief of the mission, and they get what we call an X-ride, which is like a free ride in the syllabus. They get to perform that mission again, ungraded. They just get a chance to do it. It's past, just practice. If they pass it, great, glorious, move on to the next syllabus event. If they don't, then they go on to, you can go on to another X-ride, XX. And same process, debrief, rebrief, new instructor. Can be the same instructor from the previous mission, just not the one that sat with you there. If they pass it, great, move on. If they still don't pass it, now we go to what we call a progress check, which is where you get one of the higher level, experienced instructors to sit in the debrief with that student, go over it all, and then that instructor will take them through the next one. They'll do the mission. It will all be observed, the entire process, by the director of operations, who's like second in command of the unit, to make sure it's all being done according to standards, because we don't want to screw the student. Maybe the instructors are teaching it wrong. I promise, guys, this will track with what we're doing here. I swear to God, just bear with me another minute. If they pass that mission, glorious, wonderful, move on to the next syllabus event. If they fail that mission, we then go on to the elimination check, which is, once again, debrief. Now the director of operations is in on it. The instructor is in on it. The squadron commander, who should be ideally like the most experienced, most knowledgeable person in the unit, right, sits through the debrief with the student, just is there as an observer to make sure it's debriefed correctly. Sits through, again, you get a very, very experienced, there are only certain instructors that are qualified to do a progress check or an elimination check ride with a student. You get rebriefed the entire mission again with the squadron commander observing. Believe me, that is fucking nerve-wracking, because now you're like, not only do I want to do a good job for this student, but fuck, my boss, the boss of bosses, is watching. I can't say one thing wrong or I'm going to hear about it. Anyway, the squadron commander watches the whole mission brief. The squadron commander watches the entire mission execution. Again, everything is stacked in favor of the student. If there is one instructional error, they could get another chance to go on. We'll assume maybe they were taught something wrong. But if the student then fails that elimination check, they are out. They are done. And if they pass, glorious, move on to the next syllabus event, catch up with your class, let's go. It is nobody, I should say, every once in a while there's a student that shouldn't be there, that doesn't have it, and that usually sorts itself out. But normally there is a good student who has good intentions, who has a good brain, who is just, maybe they can't think in 3D, maybe they don't have a battle set mind, maybe it's just not the job for them, but they're a good, whatever it is. But you're pulling for them every step of the way. And you want to give them every piece of advice, and all you want to do is see them succeed. You want to see them pass on that X-ride. You want to see him pass the mission in the first place. But once it's on the, you're on like the PC or the EC, all you want to do is see them succeed. That's all you want to do. You want to help them. It's the biggest thing in the world when they pass. You're like, thank God, that's all I wanted to see. So the analogy here is that as all this went on, all I wanted to see was Jason succeed. All I wanted to see was PMP pass the EC and move on to the next syllabus event, and everything's great. But it has been a very bumpy ride. The complaints have not stopped. I know that people have had to continuously do chargebacks with PayPal. And unfortunately, in my estimation, as the instructor, and I have written him long, I'm going to show you guys screenshots. This is not just me talking. I have written him a long thing. He chose not to reply to it all. And I said, dude, you are totally under a microscope. And whether you pass or whether you make it or not is all up to you, man. And you can do it. I give him encouragement. I wanted to see him do this. Especially as a dude who has screwed up. And I keep talking about the giant giveaway that I totally fucked up. And people are like, dude, it's okay. You can forget about it. No, I'm never going to forget about it. We don't know. Because if you forget about your mistakes and where you screwed up, you might make those mistakes again. I will never let myself off the hook for screw-ups. Because I want to, you should always hold yourself, especially if you want to be a professional, you hold yourself accountable for the screw-ups so that you know what you did wrong so you don't make those mistakes again. And unfortunately, we're seeing the exact same things happen again with PMP. And if it's just, look, I do this YouTube channel, I have fun. There are some people that put money into this YouTube channel. They're like investors. The Patreon team. People invest their time by watching videos. I owe something to everybody. But it's not like people are paying me for a product. That's different. People are paying him for a product and he's not delivering the product on time as advertised or sometimes at all. And that's, if it was any company at all, I would stand up and say, dude, you can't put your money in this company. And I'm sorry, but you can't. So here's where we're at. He is already soliciting money for the May subscriptions, and he's got like 4 or 5 boxes out there, right? Excuse me. I wonder if on the green screen this is transparent. I don't know. Maybe I just drank from nothing. How cool would that be? He's already asking you, the public, to pay him money for a box in May. He has not even delivered the boxes from March. There are people, one person I know, that had to get their money back from a February box. I went on and I know for a fact he has been deleting messages and comments on his Facebook. It seems like now that he knows we're catching on to that, he's not doing it anymore. But I know for a fact, because I've seen the things disappear on some of his posts. Now he's leaving some of them up. I went from my personal Facebook and comment, not my DocP, but my personal account, because I didn't want him to know it was me. I wanted him to treat me like he would treat any other customer. And I said, where are the March boxes? What's going on? And I've gotten no response. Completely just ignored. Meanwhile, he's posted pictures of backpacks that he uses. He's posted, give me money for April, give me money for April, give me money for April. By the way, now you can give me money for May. He's posted random, ridiculous stuff and completely ignored people, more than just me, but people asking about, where is the stuff for March? Where is it? What is going on with the money there? He posted on March 31st that he forgot to order an item. Okay, well, you know what you can do? You know what other companies do? I got to cite BattleBox. Like, for all my complaints about BattleBox, they didn't put an item in my box, but guess what? They sent the box out, and then they sent me the item later. A professional ships the box and then says, oops, I owe you guys something later. You eat that shipping cost. You send out the box later. You don't delay everything because you forgot to order an item. Personal, my opinion, I don't believe that at all. It's because he's got a track history of saying stuff like that and doing stuff like that, and stuff gets forgotten, or oops, it didn't arrive, or oh, whatever. I personally believe, and why am I saying this? Because I don't want to step on a legal landmine. I personally believe he's running this business almost like a pyramid scheme. I shouldn't even use those words, but where he needs people to pay for May to fund April. He used the money for April to fund March. He used the money for March to fund February. That's what I believe is going on. It might not be true. I might be completely wrong. But he certainly is not keeping stock on hand, packing the box up in a timely manner and shipping the boxes out to people. Not at all. Especially when then people start talking and they're like, people are getting different stuff in the same monthly box. That there's no reason for that to happen unless he's just throwing random stuff in a box so he can put a box out and get it out there. Without answering my questions or other people's questions, he put up a thing on the 31st that said, I forgot to order something, but I'll get him out soon. Meanwhile, he's put up all these other random posts, not even addressing the missing March boxes, not even talking about them. I contacted him personally through Facebook Messenger, where he completely avoided the issue. Didn't even give me an answer. Now, I want you to remember that in this case, I used to pay for the box. Now, Jason, who paid for Smoky Mountain, so there's two Jasons, Jason, who runs PMP, and Jason, who is a Patreon member, a longtime viewer, great supporter of the channel, paid for Smoky Mountain Army Care Package till they kind of said, oh my God, responsibly, a company said, listen, we don't want to send you crap, and right now the market's not good enough for us to continue this. We're suspending the subscription. So now Jason paid for February and March from PMP. I have recommended to Jason that he files a chargeback with PayPal and gets his money back for March, because I have heard this story too often and I don't want somebody out the money from me, on our account. Side note. He still has not answered the question, and he's still trying to sell March items, by the way. There was just a thing the other day that said, I'm packing up all the boxes, I'm printing up the labels, and shipping notices will go out. I gave it 24 hours. I didn't get any notice. I checked with Jason. Jason got no notice. Apparently he sold somebody a knife, and, a Revolt knife, by the way, crappy knife. We know how we feel about the Revolt Knife Company after doing battle box unboxings. No sign of anything. I am disappointed because Jason wants that classic American small business built from the ground up story, and he got a second chance. This community gave him a second chance, and he took that second chance, and I don't know, some people are happy here, and it's if nobody was getting stuff, that would be okay. I could be like, well, look, he's having major logistics problems. He's like, some people are getting boxes sometimes, other people are not getting stuff. I don't know if he's picking and choosing, or I don't know what's going on. I'm really disappointed, but at this point, I have to come out and I have to say, we addressed the original issue going on where he was basically spending the money, and he kind of came out and said he had a lifestyle that he was supporting, and now it's, whatever. He's got a new job now, or his old job. He got his old job back. Great. Perhaps he's having trouble logistically working a full-time job and maintaining this, and that is understandable. But you know what a grown-up does then? They say, listen, I have a priority. It's A or B, and if one is suffering for the other, you don't, especially when you're taking money from customers, you say, I cannot do this and I'm not taking your money anymore. I mean, that's customer service. That's the way you do. That's what Smoky Mountain did. They have their store, they had their subscription. They said, look, we're running our store. We cannot keep the subscription going and we don't want to screw over customers. So we're nixing the subscription for now. He has threatened on and off to just stop the subscription because he can't do it or whatever, but then he's like, oh, but one more box, give me money, and it'll be my last box. And I have to at this point, guys, because there are so many people that ask me, they ask my opinion. That's why I'm doing this. What do you think of this subscription? What do you think of that? Do not throw your money into PMP. There's too much unknown. When he delivers great. But that's a big when, and it's a big if. And it's sad because I know why he wanted this business. I know he's got a little daughter. He wanted to build a business up for her. He wanted to show her, but he I don't know what he's doing. I don't know how it's doing. I don't know what's going on, but I can tell you that this is not the way to run a business. Absolutely not. Feeling like you don't owe anybody, any customers, explanations or answers to questions. I get it that you're busy and maybe you don't get to it right away. look, dude, say I'm guilty of not answering emails. Sometimes I don't even see emails until I go to the spam folder and they're in there. But you know what? You run a page and you have had comments on posts that you have continued posting on your page, and you just simply ignored those comments because you just didn't want to be accountable. You didn't want to answer it. You didn't want to explain to people where the money for March went, or where the boxes for March went, or when the boxes for March were going out. You just chose not to be accountable to people that gave you money for product and that did not receive the product. So I'm just telling you guys, from this point on, I have to tell you, I think that it is a losing investment. Like I said over and over, I'm disappointed in the way it turned out. I wanted this to be a comeback. Dude, I grew up a Mets fan. I grew up in Queens. There's nothing I like more than a come from behind win. Because it's the only time the Mets do win. That's like how I was raised, you know? Like, I wanted this to work out, but with people contacting me about it and asking me what I know about it and what they should do and how long they should wait and they asked me, like, should I file with PayPal? And I'm like, dude, it's your money. Don't listen to me. It's your money. Get your money. Like, if you feel ripped off, get your money back. That's where it is with PMP, and I'm upset about it. And I don't know. There are a lot of better places to spend your money. Reliable places. I don't even mean better. I shouldn't have used the word better, but more reliable places, because that's their full-time business and they have the resources. And Jason, man, you did a great job. You tried really hard, but you know what? People, when they ask me, why don't you start your own box? And I give the same reason, and I say this in videos, because it's hard. Because if you don't have the infrastructure and the connections, it's hard to do. And you tried, but you are pissing people off. You are ripping people off, whether it's intentional or not, and you are not delivering on your promises. And maybe it's just time to hang it up, man. Maybe it's all on you. But like I said, you are under a microscope, whether you like it or not. And people are talking in different forums. They're talking in different groups. And there's a lot of pissed off people talking about a lot of things, including, I've heard the word class action suits thrown around. I don't know how serious that is. Everybody wants to sue everybody these days. I'm not a lawyer. I don't even know if it's possible, but I'm telling you what I've had people say to me about stuff. So anyway, guys, sad video. I really am sad video. Anybody that's lost money, I hope you can recover it. I really do, and find some good places to throw your money into for getting stuff. For all you guys out there, I really do. I appreciate you. You're all absolutely awesome. For everybody that's been in contact with me, I hope that this video kind of satisfies your desires, your requests, your communications for, that we've been in touch for a while. And just remember that you guys are all awesome. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll be back again real soon.